Have you ever wondered about the ancient origins of Australia, a land so vast and diverse? The genesis of this continent is a tale as old as time, tracing back some 50,000 to 65,000 years ago. This is when the first humans, our ancestral storytellers, set foot on this secluded expanse from maritime Southeast Asia. The journey was no small feat. Imagine navigating the open seas, guided by the stars and the winds in search of a land unknown. Upon arrival, these daring adventurers did not merely survive, they thrived, shaping their new home to their needs and painting their stories on the canvas of time. These early Australians settled in various parts of the continent, each region providing a different backdrop to their unfolding saga. From the lush wilderness of Tasmania to the sun-baked expanses of the Torres Strait Islands, each locale nurtured a unique chapter of human experience. And what of their legacy? Well, they left behind more than just stone tools and campfire ashes. They bequeathed us enduring spiritual and artistic traditions that echo the heartbeat of this ancient land. Their beliefs, their rituals, their art, all speak of a deep connection with the natural world, a bond that transcends time and touches our hearts even today. Theirs was a society that danced with the rhythm of the seasons, that read the story of the stars, that sang the song of the earth. They found their truth in the whisper of the wind, the murmur of the rivers, and the silent vigil of the mountains. Their world was a symphony of natural wonders, and they were its most ardent admirers. As we step back in time, exploring the crimson deserts and turquoise seas of Australia's past, we'll uncover the stories of these early settlers. We'll trace their journey, feel their spirit, and marvel at their resilience. We'll learn how they shaped the land, how they adapted to its moods, and how they passed on their wisdom from generation to generation. As we delve deeper, we'll discover the richness of these ancient cultures and how they shaped Australia's unique landscape. Let's set sail on this journey, shall we? The ancient shores of Australia await. Art and spirituality were integral facets of life for the ancient inhabitants of Australia. The ancient Aboriginal people of Australia wove a rich tapestry of life, expressed through their enduring spiritual and artistic traditions. They painted stories on the canvas of their world, stories that have survived for over 35,000 years. These stories, etched in rock, are not just art. They are a testament to the spiritual beliefs and the deep connection these people had with their land. The Aboriginal rock art, one of the oldest forms of artistic expression, stands as a vibrant testament to the long history of human creativity. These rock paintings, found across the vast Australian continent, depict various aspects of life, from hunting scenes to celestial beings, from everyday activities to spiritual rituals. Each painting tells a story from a time when the world was young and mankind was just beginning to make its mark. Spirituality was woven into the very fabric of ancient Australian society. The Aboriginal people believed in a time known as the Dream Time, a sacred era when ancestral spirits walked the earth. These spirits, through their actions, shaped the world and laid down the laws for living. This belief influenced every aspect of life, from societal structures to daily activities. Fire, too, played a significant role in this ancient society. It was not just a tool for survival, it was a tool for shaping the environment. The Aboriginal people mastered the art of fire stick farming, a technique of using fire to clear the land and promote the growth of plants, thereby attracting game for hunting. This practice demonstrates not only their deep understanding of the environment, but also their ability to shape it to their needs. Through their art and spiritual practices, these ancient people left a lasting imprint on Australia, a testament to their deep connection with the land. This imprint, visible in the rock art that adorns the landscape and in the spiritual beliefs that continue to resonate today, tells a story of resilience, creativity, and a profound respect for the environment. It serves as a reminder of the deep spiritual and cultural roots that underpin the identity of modern Australia. Change is a constant in life, and the ancient inhabitants of Australia were no strangers to it. The story of ancient Australia is one of adaptation and transformation. The Aboriginal population, who first set foot on this vast continent between 50,000 to 65,000 years ago, faced significant shifts in their environment. Climate change wasn't a concept confined to scientific journals or political debates. It was a lived reality, an ever-present challenge that dictated the rhythm of life and survival. As these ancient societies grappled with the vagaries of their environment, their way of life evolved. Their survival depended on their ability to read the land, to understand its moods, and to adapt. They developed innovative strategies to cope with the changing climate, such as the use of fire to shape the environment. This was not just a tool for warmth or cooking, but a means of managing the land, of encouraging the growth of specific plants, and controlling the movements of animals. Technological innovation was another hallmark of these ancient societies. As sea levels stabilized around 6,500 years ago, new technologies emerged. They developed sophisticated tools for hunting and trade, demonstrating an understanding of materials and physics that belied their primitive surroundings. The changes in climate also influenced the spread of the Aboriginal population across Australia. They moved, explored, and settled in various parts of the continent, from the lush rainforests of the north to the arid deserts of the interior. Their movements were not random wanderings, but strategic migrations dictated by the availability of resources and the changing environment. Yet, it wasn't just about survival. These ancient societies also found ways to express their experiences and beliefs. The Aboriginal rock art, some dating back 35,000 years, is a testament to their artistic and spiritual resilience amidst environmental changes. Despite the challenges, these ancient societies demonstrated remarkable resilience and adaptability, leaving a legacy that continues to resonate in Australia today. Despite its isolation, Australia was not cut off from the rest of the world forever. The vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean and the formidable landscapes of Australia managed to keep it secluded for over 50,000 years, but the winds of change were about to blow. The year was 1606 and the world was rapidly expanding, spurred on by the curiosity and ambition of European explorers. Among these explorers was a Dutch navigator by the name of Willem Janszoon. With a crew of brave men and a thirst for discovery, Janszoon set sail on the Duifken, a small ship that would become the first known European vessel to land on the shores of Australia. This marked the first documented contact between Australia's indigenous people and the outside world. The Dutch, however, were not the only Europeans drawn to the allure of the unknown. Other explorers followed in Janszoon's wake throughout the 17th century, charting the coasts of this vast new land. It was during this period of exploration that Australia was christened New Holland by the Dutch, a name that would endure until the arrival of the British in the late 18th century. These early encounters were filled with wonder and trepidation, as both sides struggled to understand the other's way of life. The indigenous Australians, with their rich spiritual traditions and deep connection to the land, found themselves face to face with strangers from a world vastly different from their own. The Europeans, on the other hand, were confronted with a land and a people that defied their understanding. Yet this initial contact was just the beginning. It was the spark that ignited a flame of exploration and colonization that would sweep across the continent, forever altering the course of Australia's history. Tragically, this wave of change brought with it not only new ideas and technologies, but also conflict and disease, which would profoundly affect Australia's indigenous population. This initial contact with the outside world marked the beginning of a new chapter in Australia's history, one that would forever alter the course of its ancient societies. As we reflect on Australia's ancient history, we recognize its profound impact on the nation we know today. Let's take a moment to pause and ponder the incredible journey we have traversed through time, retracing the footprints of Australia's first inhabitants. 50,000 to 65,000 years ago, the first people arrived on this vast continent, leaving their mark in the form of vibrant rock art, enduring spiritual and artistic traditions, and innovative technologies. They shaped the environment, using fire as a tool, and developed complex trade systems, demonstrating a deep understanding of their surroundings. Fast forward to the 17th century, when European explorers first set foot on Australian soil. The Dutch named it New Holland, but it was the British who would leave a lasting mark, starting with the establishment of a penal colony in 1788. This was the beginning of a new chapter in Australia's history, one that would bring about significant change and challenge for the Aboriginal population. The Aboriginal people, estimated to be between 500,000 and 1 million strong at the time of British settlement, were greatly impacted by the introduction of new diseases and conflicts with the colonists. This period of colonization brought about a drastic shift in the balance of power and led to the loss of many indigenous lives and cultures. Yet, in the face of adversity, the Aboriginal people showed remarkable resilience. They held on to their traditions and continued to pass down their stories and knowledge from generation to generation. This legacy of endurance and adaptability is still evident in modern-day Australia. The history of ancient Australia is not just a tale of times long gone, it's a narrative that continues to resonate today, influencing the nation's identity, culture, and values. The spirit of the Aboriginal people, their deep-rooted connection with the land, and their ability to adapt and thrive through countless challenges are woven into the fabric of Australian society. In the echoes of ancient Australia, we find a narrative of resilience, adaptability, and a deep-rooted connection with the land, a narrative that continues to shape the Australia of today.